And so the search begins. What's up, Fin fans? So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the head coaches candidates that have been talked about and brought up that the Dolphins are going to be bringing in within next week. I think they said next week they're going to start interviewing for head coaches. There's names and there's people that they have requested to interview, which I wrote down, but they haven't officially came in yet. And then obviously you can tell from the title, I'm going to be talking about next year's schedule, but also I'm going to show you guys how it works itself out, because I can tell you who the Dolphins are going to be playing for the next 4 years. So I'll break that down. But before I get into that, it is January 1st, 2019, which means it is New Year's. And I tweeted out and I put a post on here wishing you guys a Happy New Year's. But before I even start this video, I just want to personally wish you guys a Happy New Year's. Tell you that 2019 for this channel is going to be amazing. I have a ton of things planned this year. I will be going down to Miami for a game. They also, like I'm about to tell you in a little bit, they're playing the Giants here where I live, so I will be going to that game. So again, I'll let you know those two games. Maybe we can meet up. Maybe we could do a big old, I'm gonna vlog it, so it'll be cool stuff. But I have a lot of ton of things planned for this year. But with 2018, I just really quickly want to say thank you to all you guys, because this channel's been around and I started talking about the Dolphins before free agency, and that was what, March? Had 78 subscribers. And then after talking about the Dolphins, after showing my love for the Dolphins, showing you guys how much I'm a Dolphins fan, and sticking to it for the whole year, I'm almost at 3,000 subscribers in less than a year. So that's all because of you guys, and I just want to thank every single one of you guys. I also want to say Happy New Year to all you guys. So with all that mushy crap out of the way, let's get into this video, and let's talk about some of these head coaching candidates that have been announced to be coming in for an interview. First, you got Fangio, who's the defensive coordinator for the Bears. Now, this year the Bears have been doing fantastic. Is it because of Khalil Mack? Probably. But they're doing fantastic. They also did really well last year. And these are the years that Fangio was their defensive coordinator. Now, with this team, I don't want another Gase situation where we get a defensive coordinator, he calls defensive plays, and he hires an offensive coordinator. I want a head coach that knows what he's doing, that's going to have his two coordinators calling the plays and know what they're doing. So right now, I like the name, Vic Fangio coming out. There's another name on here that I like better, but just so you know, while I go through the rest of these names, that's what I want. I want a head coach, but I want him to head coach. I also would like a head coach that has done it before. I think there's only one name on this list of a coach that has been a head coach and kind of a successful one. So let's continue the list. Then we have Eric Bieniemy. I think that's how you say his name. Bieniemy. Obviously, you guys tell me. He's the offensive coordinator of the Chiefs. Now, he's very intriguing to me because look at what the Chiefs have been doing this year with the offense, with Patrick Mahomes, all that stuff. Also, look at some of the assistant coaches, Doug Peterson, Harbaugh, that have come from Andy Reid. Kind of good coaches. So, Eric Bieniemy, I'm probably saying his name wrong. That's a name that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna look at that name. I want to see how that interview goes. But again, I want a head coach. I don't want him to be calling offensive plays. We saw what happened with that last time. Then you got Brian Flores. He's the defensive coordinator of the Patriots. That one I'm like, he is a disciple of Bill Belichick. He's been with the Patriots since 2004. But the Patriot defense, they've allowed, I think it was like 7th in points allowed on defense, but their yards is like 29. So, Brian Flores, I don't know about that one. And you got Mike Munchak, who used to be the Titans head coach, and that's when they went to the playoffs. That was last season. Now he's the Steelers O-line coach. So he's an offensive type of guy, but the fact that he was a Titans head coach intrigues me, only because he's done it before. But again, this is the names on this list aren't, as you like to say, sexy. They're just names. I think Mike Munchak is the only name on this list that you're like, oh, he used to coach. So that one I'm like, eh. And they got Chris Richards, who's the cornerback coach and assistant coach to the Cowboys. That's all I have to say about that one. When Adam Gase got fired, which the more I'm thinking about it, he deserved it, not because he sucked, which obviously we suck, but because he lost the locker room. And yeah, Kenny Stills came out and said I never said that, and Albert Wilson came out and said, you know, I liked Adam Gase and all that stuff, but I did like Adam Gase too. I liked what he was doing, but he lost that locker room. You could tell he lost the locker room. But the thing is, you take Adam Gase and you put him in the list of people that the Dolphins are interviewing right now, where does he rank? I'm not going to tell you what I think. I'm just giving you guys food for thought. Where would he rank? Now let's get into next year's, or this year's, because it's 2019, Dolphins opponents. This year at home, the Dolphins are facing the Bills, the Patriots, the Jets, obviously, and they face them away because they're in our division, Doug. You stupid bitch. But they face the AFC North, and they face the NFC East. So they're going to be playing home. They're going to be playing the Ravens, the Bengals, the Eagles, and the Redskins. And then away, they're going to be at the Browns, at the Cowboys, and at the Giants. So, and the Steelers. At the Giants and at the Steelers. So that's how that pans out. And then the way it works out is wherever the Dolphins finish, so this year they finished second place, they face the AFC South and the AFC West second place team. Now, this thing that I pulled up, that I'm showing you now, has them facing the Broncos at home. They're not good. They're going to be facing the Chargers at home because the Chargers finished second, and they'll be facing the Colts away because the Colts finished second. That's the schedule for this upcoming year, and if the Dolphins don't get their stuff together, and if the new head coach and the new coordinators don't change this team into a better offensive and defensive team, if you look at this schedule, there's some games that they ain't winning. Steelers, Ravens, even Browns, Colts, Chargers, Eagles, Cowboys. It's like, those are some good teams, but again, it's way too early to try to say who they're going to beat, who they're going to lose to, because like I did last year, I had them. People thought that the Jaguars game was going to be a tough game. They thought that all of these games, oh my God, look at who the Dolphins have to play. And at the end of the season, when we faced the Jaguars, even though we lost, they were a 4-win team. So it's hard to pick who the Dolphins are going to win and lose to, but this is just who they're going to play. But then again, if you look, the next 4 years already panned out. So in 2020, the Dolphins are going to be facing the AFC West and the NFC West. So they'll be facing the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Raiders, the Broncos, the Cardinals, the Seahawks, the Rams, and the 49ers. And then 2021, they'll be facing the AFC South, and then they'll be facing the NFC South. And then in 2022, they'll be facing the NFC North, and they'll be facing AFC North. So if you see how things pan out and how they already have the schedule made. So that's essentially the way this schedule this year is going to pan out. So comment below. Let me know what you guys think about the coaches that I've named. Let me know some of the coaches that you would like the Dolphins to interview. Again, they're not going to start interviewing coaches until next week, and then they're probably going to continue. A lot of what they want to do is wait and see for teams that lose, how they lose, if they start firing coaches, if they start doing things, and see how things pan out. They won't probably hire a coach for a while. But let me know in the comments below, who would you like the Dolphins to hire? Who would you like them to interview? I know a lot of you guys have brought up Dan Campbell. He's interviewing with the Packers and the Browns. There's a good possibility he could be interviewing for the Dolphins, being that they know him. Let me know what you think of this year's schedule facing the AFC North and the NFC East, which NFC East turned out to be a pretty good division, and after starting like poop. But comment below, let me know what you guys think of all that. You know what I'm doing now. You know what I'm doing now. Let's just get to it. And this one comes from Dawson, and he says to me, I just thought about this. Do you think the Dolphins were still too hyped about the Miami Miracle that we lost every game afterwards? Because we're still so excited we didn't focus. I don't know if it had to do with excitement. It had to... If you looked at last year when we faced the Patriots at home on Monday night and we beat them, we've lost the games afterwards. For me, when it came to this team, I think it had a lot to do with discipline, and it had a lot to do with coaching, because there was way too many offside penalties, way too many false start penalties, way too many penalties in general. But I also think that has to do with how bad the refs were. Played like a completely different team on the road. And Adam Gase was like, well, that's because we faced good teams on the road. And that's because we faced teams that were coming off of losses and they were reeling. And Adam Gase made a lot of excuses, but it had all of these things happening had to do with the coaching. I think they were feeling it, Mr. Krabs, but I don't know if it is all about the fact that they were really in on themselves because of the Miami Miracle, and that's why they lost the last 3 games. I think they just, especially the Bills game, I think the players were like, we're done. You're going to get fired. We don't feel like busting our ass for you anymore. We're done. But thank you for the question, Dawson. Really appreciate it. Guys, be sure to follow me on Twitter. A ton of stuff is happening. A ton of stuff is getting tweeted. I'm being very good. For the people that don't have a Twitter, I don't blame you. Twitter is a dangerous space. For the people who don't have a Twitter, if you notice, I am getting really good at tweeting and then also putting it on here in the community so you guys can see it and so you guys can comment on it and do all that jazz. Be sure to check out, I'm not going to tell you to follow, just check out my second channel, The Bit Boys. We play video games every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. See if you like it. See if you like the video games, the humor. We're almost at 300. We have 297 subs. We're 3 away from 300. And again, the reason that channel grew was because of you guys and checking it out. So again, you get double thanks from me, from this channel and that channel. Greatly appreciate it. Give this video a thumbs up because we're getting a new coach. We're changing the organization. We're changing the way things are happening with this team. We're not going after the old farty vets that have maybe 1 year left in their playing, throwing a ton of money at them, hoping that they can patch up we're changing it up. We need to change it up. I'm tired of 6-10. Tired of 8-8. I want 14-12. I want first seed, second seed. Things are getting changed up. Be sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed already. I got a ton of things. I think I'm actually going to be making more videos now than I did during the season, because I was putting out about 4 a week during the season. I think now it might go up to 5, maybe more, just because I'm going to have more time and just because I'm going to have a studio where I can start shooting in. So be sure to subscribe. You guys are going to get a ton of content from me. You're going to get a ton of stuff from me. So I will see you guys tomorrow or Thursday with I'm going to talk about the playoff games, and then I'm going to obviously update you guys on any information. Again, if any new information comes out, you're going to hear it from me. You're going to see it from me. You're going to smell it from me. That wasn't me. That was you. That wasn't me. But I will see you guys either tomorrow or on Thursday. But like usual, guys, stay classy. Fins up.